Hi there, welcome. My name is Jordan, and today we're going to do a bit of an experiment. We're going to test the pH of how our period products may affect our body. I became really curious in wondering if our products do change our body's pH after reading Barbara O'Neill's Self-Heal by Design book and learning how acidity in the body really triggers like yeast infections or any kind of imbalance or illness. And I know many have a hard time with yeast infections or lichen sclerosis flares during their cycle. And so that led me to inquiring if it is actually our period products. I would like to say I hope not, but if it is, we're going to find out hopefully in our test today by soaking tampons or a tampon, a pad, a panty liner, and period underwear in half a cup of water, letting it sit for 2 hours, and then testing the liquid inside each of those, their pH level. For our test strips, I just bought the cheapest ones I could find on Amazon. I think they were like $3. But the red range, that would be the most acidic, and this dark purple is very alkaline. The healthy spot for our bodies is right in the middle in the green range. So that's what we're looking for and hoping for in our test results, but we will know after it sits for 2 hours. To begin with our base that we are comparing to, we're going to test our water, and this is my well water that was ran through my Berkey. So it should be pretty pure, but we'll test the pH of this, and this is what we'll compare to in the end. So with one of these test strips, you have to put just a drop of water on them. I have this little syringe. My little ones, they took the back end of the syringe, so I'm just going to use my finger to get the little drop. Okay. And then after 15 seconds is the accurate result we get from for the pH. So it starts out as that golden color. I don't know if you can see well, but we'll give it the 15 seconds and see what it changes into. Okay, it's been about 15 seconds, and this side has definitely turned more green. It's still climbing up. There's the golden part. But let's compare our test strip. So I would say that is very much an 8, which is right in that perfect range for us. So that's what we're going to look back on, is we're looking for that 8. If there's any deviation from the 8, our original test strip, in the end, after the 2 hours, I know this will dry up and it will turn back to that golden color. So we're just going to try to remember that that 8 range is what we are comparing. And then we're going to go ahead and put half a cup of the Berkey water in each of these. Okay, there we have it. Now we're just going to submerge each product. We'll start with the tampon. I don't remember what brand this is. It's my mom's best friend gave it to me because I don't like tampons. They're not healthy for you. But I think it's Tampax. Is this one? But I used to be a huge tampon girl until I watched a podcast of a supermodel's daughter who actually lost her legs from that tampon toxicity syndrome. I think that's what it is. And it just opens your eyes to how toxic and poisonous they can be. And you definitely don't want something like that inside your body. But that is beside the point in our test. Then we have I think it's called Real Organic Cotton Pads. These are what I always use myself. And we are going to put it just the fabric cotton side down in the water, not the plastic part, because we don't want to test the pH of the plastic, just the part that would be touching our skin. have it. We have this little panty liner. I don't remember what brand this is. This little one, also sticky side up, not in the water, just testing the fabric side. And then here, I'm really excited about these period underwear. I've never tried them. I just got them in the mail and washed them in all natural laundry soap. But again, we're just going to put this inner part that touches your skin in your lady bit area in the water. Okay, there we have it. I'm going to come back in 2 hours and we're going to test the liquid inside each of these. So I think I'll squeeze out the liquid and do our test strips off of that liquid we squeeze out. So I'll see you in 2 hours. Okay, and we are back. It's been just over 2 hours. Like I said, this test strip did dry up. This was our water one, just our plain water. And we have to remember it was at an 8. So that greener, right in the middle section. Now we're going to go ahead and test the liquid in each of our trials. I think for some of them I might end up squeezing out the liquid, like it looks like the pad absorbed all of it. And the panty liner, I'm not sure if I can get liquid like right off of the liner, but we'll see. We're going to do our best. Again, I will just be using this syringe with my finger to get 1 drop. And that's what you test on here. You have to wait 15 seconds for the results of each, and we'll just see what comes up. Okay, so first I'm going to test the liquid around the tampon, and then I'll go ahead and squeeze out some liquid from the tampon. Okay, get it really close to the tampon, just 1 dot. Okay, I'm gonna dry this off. I'm thinking I might squeeze some of the liquid into this little bowl. That's why I brought it over, just so I can get it without like the surrounding liquid. So for the tampon, we're going to squeeze some of the liquid that's inside the tampon into this bowl and do another test. So one of the liquid surrounding it and then one that was inside the tampon. I'll get another bowl for each of these. That way we have no like that way we have very little cross-contaminating of each test group as if I squeeze into its own individual bowl. Okay, and in our results so far, this one is the outer liquid around the tampon, not in the tampon. And this is the liquid in the tampon. There's already a difference. We can see here, I'll try to bring it closer. I don't know if you could see that. Looks much closer to the 7, so slightly more acidic than this darker green. Now for the pad, there's really no liquid. It looks like at the bottom, like none at all for the pad. So I'm going to squeeze out the liquid in the pad into here. Okay. Oh, I guess I forgot to get another test strip. Here we go. Put this right in the middle and just 1 drop on it. We'll wait 15 seconds. For the pad, the liquid that was inside the pad, it looks very similar to what the tampon looked like right when it came out, the tampon liquid, and it is closer to that 7. Yeah, I would say in between like a 6 and 7, much more of a 7. As these have gone along, they've gotten a little bit darker, but it's supposed to be the results right after 15 seconds. So this one we thought was, I think, closer to an 8. This one was more of the 7. And this one is more of the 7 as well. For the panty liner, we'll see if we can squeeze any liquid out. I'm not really sure if we'll get anything just because they're so small, or if we'll get enough to get the test, like the drop. Let's see, maybe if I turn it, it's like the teeniest amount of water in there. For this one, I'm actually going to just dip one in there, a test strip in it, because it's not able to get enough water. So just a quick dip. Okay, we'll wait 15 seconds for this one as well. So far we're getting quite good results that they are not changing the pH of the water. So up against our skin, it's very slightly any change of pH. These are really great results and would show that my hypothesis was quite wrong, that these products are probably not the cause for any change of body pH. So that makes me think maybe it is more hormonal. I'm not a doctor, of course, but this is just my at-home experiment. But I'm really surprised. I thought tampons especially would come up more of an orange, like on the acidity scale, but to my surprise, they are not. It's still ranging within an alkaline amount. So I wonder if there is almost like a rule that things need to stay within a certain alkalinity that goes inside our bodies or on our bodies. Well, I would imagine with our society there's probably not a rule, but it's great these results we're getting. Okay, so now we are going to test this panty liner. Again, I would say that this is also really close to a 7, between a 7 and an 8. And then the last one we have to test is the period underwear. So we'll squeeze out that liquid. And I think this one, the results would really determine on what kind of laundry soap you use. Oh, yeah, I have a test. Did not get enough. Okay, there we are. And again, waiting 15 seconds for these results. So you guys, let me know in the comments below, is there another way that we can test how these products affect our bodies, if they do at all, or any ideas of what could be causing that imbalance? Do you believe it's hormones? Okay, it's about the end of that 15 seconds, and we have a very similar result to what we had for the rest of them. Remember, what you read after 15 seconds is the accurate result, not what has happened as we've been talking. And right now, this also reads, I would say, really close to a 7 or 8. So really all of our results have been within that range, which is actually a great outcome, meaning these products are most likely not the culprit for changing any body pH during our cycle while we are using them. Thank you so much for joining in on this experiment with me. Let me know if you have any ideas for other experiments. I love this kind of thing. I think it's so fun. I think it's good for us to explore what goes on our bodies, in our surroundings, and also when we find results to be our own advocates of what we want in our life. I think in the future I'd really like to share my experience trying out period underwear and also just different period options, because we have a lot of them, but not everyone knows that. Okay, I'm gonna jump in here a couple of days later because I realized I didn't do a recap of all the test results, and there are a few additional thoughts I wanted to share. So let's go over the test results. Our base was the water, and that came back as an 8. And remember, the 8 and 7 were in that green perfect body range. The tampon came back a 7-8. The pad came back a 6-7. The panty liner was a 7-8, and the period underwear was a 7-8 as well. So really the biggest change, although it was very slight, was in the tampon and the pad. My original thought while doing the experiment was these are such a slight change, although there was just a little bit dropping from the 8 to the 7 and 6 range. And as I was thinking about it more, there still is that drop in the alkalinity, so it became slightly more acidic. And it had me wondering if a slight acidity is introduced to the body environment, would that cause for fungus or yeast growth, resulting in those issues that we were talking about in the beginning. Although it's a small increase in acidity in our body environment, is that just enough to tip you over? And then I was wondering, like, what if your body environment was already leaning towards acidic? Would these products tip you possibly just slightly to the perfect environment where fungus and yeast is multiplying and causing any symptoms? So those are just a few things on my mind and to consider as you're picking your menstrual products. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and thank you for joining me in this experiment.